Oh, hello. Welcome back. It's Bartleby, and we've got some more Horde Hunters. And we're going to do this one just a little bit different from the last. The last video, which don't even get me started on the reaction to that. Are you serious? Like, you guys like me that much? I'm kind of astonished. Just a brief... Let me go on this briefly. On the night of the 17th, I posted in advance of me releasing the last video. And I said, hey, I also just crossed 80 subscribers. Well, just about 600 views later, and 7 more subscribers later, I'm sitting here recording this. I'm a bit blown away. I don't know if it was the thumbnail, or the voiceover, or the edits, or the game, or... I don't know what it was. But hey, thank you. Because, my God, the reaction was insane. Like, I checked it a couple hours before I got off work. We were sitting at like 50 views. By the time I was off work, we were in the triple digits, and it just never stopped. So, wow. So what we're going to do different about this one is, if you recall, I did a little bit of playthrough. I did a compilation of my deaths, and then I did a longer playthrough. This one, we're starting off with the good one. And if you would have told me that of all the characters available in this game, that my first successful run would have been with the Bard, I would not have believed you. I didn't even want to pick the Bard when I first unlocked it, because, as you can see, the guy's attack as he shoots bouncing music notes, and his special ability is a lullaby that puts enemies to sleep for a very brief period of time. You do get a little bit of a speed boost, but, you know, it just wasn't, I wasn't trying to believe you. Especially because my first 2 runs with the Bard tonight were terrible. You know, I gotta say, I've figured a few things out. You know, paying a little bit more attention as I play, and that helped me out a lot in this one. But yeah, I mean, look at the damage. It's nothing's going great here right now. You know, you shoot the note, it bounces once. I'm already having to do a full heal because I'm almost dead. But you can obviously get attack speed. You can get additional projectiles, and you can get additional bounces. And the cool thing about this character is once you get... I'll have to look. I think it's... Maybe it's... I think it's luck. We'll see. We'll see when it happens. But once you get that stat to 50%, your weapon just goes crazy. And I'd already fully upgraded the weapon before that, so the weapon was already doing better. So by the time I uploaded that... I keep saying uploaded. By the time I upgraded that stat, the weapon was crazy. And I had a few other weapons by the end. I had fully upgraded almost all of those. I think there was one I didn't, and I'd also fully upgraded my companions. So it worked out extremely well. And I attribute this to 2 items, which I'm going to go out on a limb and say these are the 2 best items in the game. That is the Wishbone, which gives you a chance, based on luck, to get an addition. Basically, you get to pick 2 items here when you level up. As you can see, every time you level up, you get between 6 and 9 items, and let you pick 2. And then also got the magnet, which once I got the magnet, I was upgrading like crazy. But I didn't get to do this in real time because I was rambling on and thanking all of you wonderful people. Here's what I think the gameplay loop kind of looks like at the moment, like optimally. And this is only coming off 1 success, but I did have some runs that were pretty close. As you can see, they were all due, once I get to the death compilation, they were all due to some dumb death. I think the first thing you want to find is the mine, which will give you a random amount of gold. You can use that up to 6 times with a countdown. But you want to hit the mine, then you want to destroy the gold stash, which is going to be hard, especially with this guy. It's not as hard with the wizard. I don't recall the name. And then the first melee character with the sword. It's not as bad then. But if you can stack up double on those gold deposits and then go to the bank, and then obviously, as you see there, you kind of have to hang around until the bank processes your money. You basically get interest. And then you go to the blacksmith, because the blacksmith is a huge resource that I did not pay as much attention to until tonight. You know, I was thinking, well, it's going to be just like the shop in Isaac or something. You know, you may come across something decent, but it's not really, you know, just an absolute must. You have to go to the shop every floor. No, this is the way, because you basically just unlock upgrades and weapons and abilities and all that for very little money. So obviously, and you can see them right there. I got the mine on the left, gold at the top. So that's what you're looking for. And there's also another gold to the left. It's all random. You never know exactly where they're going to be placed, but I kind of got lucky and everything was in a good proximity. I think that's the key there. So you end up getting a ton of money, drop it in the bank, get you some upgrades. One thing I'm not sure about in this game is I feel like maybe as you level up, it gives you weapons. I feel like I noticed that twice, but I'm not positive. So I gotta check back on that one. I mean, you can sell anything you have. You know, you can go to the blacksmith and sell everything. You can sell your starting weapon if you want. I haven't sold anything yet, but I feel like they're giving you stuff. See, look at all this. I've got 102 gold. That's just level ups right there. So yeah, that one trip to the blacksmith, it was basically the equivalent of me leveling up 5 times. Definitely recommend it. See, I finally get the blood transfusion kit, so now every time I kill an enemy, I'm going to siphon their health. And that's actually probably the biggest game changer in this run, is I was constantly healing. Now, I still get low, but that helped out a ton. Especially once there's just an absolute gigantic amount of enemies on the screen. Being able to heal every time, absolutely essential. I think what I ended up with, 3 dogs and a farmer. I think the companions were pretty great. And I can confirm something I mentioned before. Every time you level up, like you see right there, the dog collar. Every time you level up one of the items for a companion, you level it up for however many you have. So if you have 10 dogs somehow, every time you level up the dog, you're leveling up all of them. That's pretty cool. Yeah, see, I was getting in trouble there. Let me just teleport out of the way. I'm still kind of surprised that I had a successful run. Like, this game is... It feels harder than a lot of them. And I don't know if that's just because some aspects of the game haven't been optimized. Like, the hitboxes are kind of a little suspect sometimes. And same thing with anything having to do with that range between your attack hitting the enemy and the enemy hitting you. It can be just like a little touchy sometimes. And it could just be me. If you've watched any of my videos, you know I tend to get way too close to enemies in pretty much every game, and I get hit a lot. So it could just be me blowing smoke up my own ass. I don't remember what I got for this. I'm sure you noticed that right there. I had the air attack, and I was able to freeze pretty much all of those birds in mid-flight before they could hit me. That was huge. I didn't really care much for the fire cape. I'll be honest. Like, it left a trail, as you can see, it was fun. I really just wanted an excuse to have another weapon, but it wasn't phenomenal. That's something else I didn't notice until next time I level up, I'll try to pick it. But as I mentioned in the last video, there are bonuses if you fully upgrade your weapon. There you go with upload again, Jesus. Every time you upgrade your weapon fully, you get some type of bonus. It changes depending on the weapon. But I noticed that it actually shows on the left side where it shows the weapon. It actually details how many upgrades you've done. And it does that for companions as well. I didn't notice that until tonight. It's like you see, you can barely see. There's the wishbone. But you can barely see it there on the left. It shows you exactly what you're working with. And I'd say it's worth it. I'm fairly certain there aren't any evolutions. I think it's just one of those things where once you fully upgrade your weapon, you just get additional perks. As you said, I did not freeze the birds that time. It was pretty bad. Now, Filthy Rags is good. Just imagine a garlic type weapon that stuns enemies. And it gets kind of absurdly big by the time I'm done with it. The map's pretty dang big, especially when you have to run. They typically want to put you, like, you see how far away that is? They typically want you to have to travel. You're not going to get lucky and have a defend mission or a rescue mission right next to where you are. And that gets a little bit hairy here in just a couple of minutes, because there are enemies filling the screen. And I definitely haven't realized how much gold I'm sitting on right by this point. But I do end up going back and almost cleaning the blacksmith completely out. You see, I was making fun of that lullaby at the beginning, but it saved me more than once in this run. Being able to, even if it's just for a few seconds, freeze an elite when they're rushing at you like that. Yeah, I kept thinking about going for charisma, but I don't know. I was sitting on so much gold by this point that a free item didn't really appeal to me that much. I want to say the most expensive thing I've seen in there is 100 gold. And that's to unlock another weapon. Now, one thing I will mention is all of the slots that are in the blacksmith are tied to charisma. So if you have a higher level, I'm sure you noticed when I was in there that a lot of the slots I had to unlock, and then I could see the item or the upgrade, what have you. So if you have higher charisma, you don't have to deal with all that. I keep hovering over it. That's what's fun about doing these voiceovers, because a lot of the times in the moment, I'm just all over the place trying to figure out, you know, make a split-second decision of what I think is best. When I do it like this, I can actually sit back and watch and think about what I was doing. And hey, I'm human. Sometimes I still don't remember what I was doing. There's the magnet. The level ups just don't stop at this point. It's a little bit different because, yeah, they're at the bottom. You can see all the slots there. So see, right now I have to unlock all of those before I can buy the item. If you have a higher charisma stat, they're just unlocked already. I just happen to get really lucky with the amount of gold in this run. And see, at that point I realized I'm maxed out, and I had no idea. Because reincarnate, like, I passed that up at one point, but I still had it. So I feel like the game, at certain milestones, it has to give you items. I'm not paying enough attention to that side of the screen to know what it's giving me. Just take it all. It still gets a little hairy, but I felt pretty unstoppable at this point. And I've only felt that way probably 2 other runs out of, I don't even know how many, 10 or 15 at this point. And I've only won this one. I had a really good sword build tonight, where I had everything fully leveled up. It had a huge range, great damage, and I had a couple of other items as well that were doing good damage, and I just did something stupid. You'll see it at the end. It was one of those things where they put you in an arena with 3 elites, and I got lucky enough to have the tower in the corner, and I was like, well, I'm just going to stand here in the tower. Excuse me. And let that do some of the work for me. Yeah, very stupid idea. Because, yeah, it didn't block anything, and I got killed. I was doing really well on that one too. I just dumb move. Major error alert, but I got lullaby. Look at that, all of them toast. I didn't even use half my items. I had so many. I did throw a couple at the final bosses though, just to see what they did. I actually unlocked the final character in this run as well. It's some type of jester. I thought it was another wizard or something, but it's definitely a jester, at least with the face paint and everything. It looks like it's got the little hat. Let's try them out next time. After how this run went, I'm not taking another character for granted. Yes, it makes me drive or go all the way down towards the bottom. This game. Like, the worst thing that would happen is I'd have another elite on the field, and it's not the worst thing, but I try to go through and do as many of the missions as I can just because. I will mention, too, since we're kind of getting towards the end here, there's only a few minutes left. The plan is for Atomic Heart. I've seen mixed things from everywhere. Every single source I've seen different release dates. Some places say it releases at midnight on Steam, midnight tomorrow. And then some say it releases on Tuesday at some point. If it releases at midnight tomorrow, there's a very good chance I'll launch the game, get the settings and everything the way I want them, and then stream some tomorrow night. And some could just be until I fall asleep, it's whatever. But I did take off Tuesday, so I'm gonna be streaming it. Who knows if I get the whole game beat, but I'm at least going to start. I've been needing to get back to streaming. I want to stream, and I've waited long enough for this game. I feel like it's deserving of it. But you can definitely expect that. And I imagine I'll have my normal videos in addition to that. But I'm really excited. I hope the game is good. I'm gonna firebomb this guy a few times and have the first win in the bank. After that, it's gonna be several deaths in a row, back to back. I did die several times tonight because that's what I do best. Isn't it great that you don't have to sit through all these failed runs and you can just see a little compilation at the end? But I'll let these play out. Hope you enjoyed the video. Keep giving great feedback. I appreciate everything that you tell me. You know, this is all work in progress every day. And be on the lookout for more stuff. I got some more new games. And you guys take care of yourself. Hope you have a good night. We will see you soon.